Thanks for clicking on the video. Hit the subscribe button for more weekly content and hit the notification bell so you won't miss a thing. It's been a while, hasn't it? 6 long months have passed, but today we'll at last continue with the story of our favorite Queen of Light delving into darkness as the Digimon Emperor. What's good, peeps? What's poppin'? How are you doing? And welcome to part 15 of What If Kari Was the Digimon Emperor. And first off, I want to say sorry, this is going up late. It was originally meant to go on Monday, but stuff happened, so it's going up Thursday instead. This will be the only video for the week, but starting next Monday, we'll try to roll out regular episodes Monday and Friday. If you all haven't seen my update video, I guess you can more or less ignore it since I've come to my own realization that making content like this is what you guys want. Making these types of stories is hard work, but it's worth it since we get to see so many other possibilities. I won't get too deep into this, but what ifs are here to stay, as well as other Digimon content in the future. This particular story has reached its climax in the previous part, and if you haven't seen it, please go watch it now. And that means we'll be wrapping this one up soon within a few parts. I already have the next story in mind, but one comment I've seen several times is making What If TK Was the Digimon Emperor into a series for you guys to watch. I have a deal for you all. Once we get to 3,000 subscribers, I'll make that happen. And as a little incentive, the next What If I have planned is TK focused, but in a way no one would expect. That's all I really have to say in terms of updates, so let's finally get back to what you all been waiting for so long. If this video receives 25 likes, that will let me know that you also want things to continue into part 16. Let's begin. With the collapse of the digital world imminent and 2 massive black wings off in the distance, all Tai could do was fall to his knees, quaking and shivering. It's all my fault, Kari. The others, with their weakened and defeated Digimon, were equally as distraught and could do nothing to console their leader. All except one. He felt no fear, no despair. He felt nothing but seething fury. Not hesitating and without a word, TK rushed towards the direction of the control spire. Tokomon felt a sudden rush of energy when he was able to become Patamon again, but something was off. TK, what are you? Digimon energize! With Pegasusmon now on the field, TK gave but one order. Destroy it, he said, pointing to the black spire. The coldness in his voice sent a rush of terror down the beast's back, but did as he was told and obliterated the tower with a powerful Equus beam. Now, nothing controls the area. Now, hurry! De-Digivolve and Digivolve to Angemon! But TK, we can't fight them on our own! We need— Just do it! The young Digidestin was beyond reason at this stage in the game. He's getting Kari back, no matter the cost, and he'll do it on his own if necessary. Frightened, the little Digimon held his tongue, and with the control spire gone, he was successfully able to Digivolve into Angemon. His partner mounted the angel's back, and the two rushed off in the distance Ordinmon flew off to. Back on the ground, the other Digidestin took notice. What's he thinking? TK, get back here! Matt yelled. We can't let him go after that thing alone! There's nothing we can do! Our Digimon were no match for that monster! Look at them! They barely survived! We haven't even seen Ordinmon's true power! So you think giving up on our friends is our only option? Davis roared at the youngest Digidestin. The two angrily stared at each other down before a certain someone intervened. It was Joe. The last thing we need right now is for another disaster to happen on top of this mess going on. If we're going to save anyone, you two need to put aside your differences and work as a team like before. Joe's right, you guys, Tai chimed in. Figure it out, because right now, Kari isn't the only one I'm worried about. Somehow, TK and Angemon managed to close the gap between them and Ordinmon. Angemon, go! Despite the massive gap in power, the Holy Angel Digimon followed his partner, engaged with the biggest threat to the digital world they've ever faced. While that was going on, TK rushed off to where Kari and Arukenimon were standing in order to see what he could do on his front. The Spider Woman stood there with her arms around the fallen Digidestin, as Kari exuded no emotion at all. It was as if she was only a shell of the Kari everyone knew. The light in her eyes was nowhere to be found. Kari! TK reached them, only to be stopped by a powerful barrier keeping him from getting any closer. No matter how hard the young man hit the barrier, he was unable to get through, prompting taunting cackles from Arukenimon on the other side. Try until you're blue in the face, but it's pointless, little boy. You're weak and always will be just a pathetic little child. Your Kari now belongs to me. You witch! You're going to pay for this! Turning his attention back to the battle, It was obvious that Angemon was doing nothing in terms of damage to Ordinmon. If it weren't for his natural affinity against fallen angel Digimon, he would have been destroyed instantly. But he was hurt and bad. Angemon! The only way you'll win this is if you Digivolve to Magna Angemon and seal her away!
But TK, I barely have the strength to defend myself. Ordinmon is unlike any Digimon I've ever faced.
This only made him more furious. Enough with the excuses! Kari and the rest of the digital world are doomed if you don't do it! I'm trying! Don't try! Just do it! In an instant, black light exploded out from TK and transferred over to his angelic partner. The other Digidestined entered the scene just to witness what was about to unfold, and judging from Ty's expression, it can't be good. Oh no. A black sphere encased Angemon, and from the inside, a dark metamorphosis is taking place.
Angemon, Warp Digivolve 2?
Demon. Quick aside time. Now in Digimon lore, it is believed that Devimon is a fallen Angemon, and the same thing is said that Daemon was once a Seraphimon. That being said, I didn't see anything verbatim that states that Angemon could warp Digivolve straight to Daemon, but if Angemon could Digivolve to fallen angel Digimon, that in turn could become Daemon, who to say Angemon can't warp to this fallen mega form. It makes sense to me, and I don't want any actually happening in the comments. I did my research, and be honest, did you guys actually expect this to happen? I didn't think so. But enough of that, let's continue. What is that? Angemon! All the rage of vibrato TK felt faded in an instant, as if it all took form in this unholy beast that now stood before them. Devilish laughter echoed for miles, coming straight from Daemon. Dark Digivolution, Ty spit out. I never would have thought that happened to him too. This is possibly the worst case scenario. The Digidestined themselves don't know this, but Daemon is classified as one of the 7 great demon lords, one that is roughly on par with a royal knight. Again, something they also don't have knowledge of. This makes Daemon almost as bad as Ordinmon, but this one, all control was lost. It was rage and wrath incarnate. Anything in his way will be annihilated. There is no friend nor foe, only complete destruction.
Flame Inferno!
But just like that, unquenchable flames erupted all around his body, indiscriminately scorching everything. Ordinmon was caught in the blast, but fortunately, the Digidestined were far enough to escape, but the sheer heat was enough for them to fall over. That was quite the unexpected surprise. Arukenimon said, annoyed from the safety of her still intact force field. "But no use standing around here when that thing can destroy these pests for me. Kari, my dear, we're done. Let's go." Kari snapped, and Ordinmon reverted back down to both Gatomon and Mekomon. The other didn't even notice them fading off into the darkness. From fury to despair, TK hopelessly looked towards the monstrosity that used to be his lovable little friend, tears cascading endlessly down his face. "Patamon, this is all my fault. I turned you into this." The destruction of the control spire allowed the other Digimon to reach the champion level, but most were still unable to return to the ultimate level. Yoli and Ken were able to have their partner's DNA digivolve to Tropiumon, but that barely tipped the scale. Daemon was too powerful. It took all they had just from getting engulfed from the ever-growing flames. As if Ordinmon wasn't bad enough, how are we going to defeat this thing? We have to keep trying. Despite what it looks like, our friend is still inside. Look around you, Davis. Look what Ordinmon and Daemon did to the digital world. How could you call anything that causes wanton destruction like this a friend? If they weren't stopped, both worlds would be destroyed. Taking advantage of this internal squabble, Daemon used what little control of itself it had to take a new target, the now defenseless TK. Drawing his huge left hand back and throwing it forward, his leash will at last be broken.
Slash nail!
TK! But before the blow could land, Ankylomon used his hard armor shell to intercept the deadly attack. It wasn't a direct attack, but it was enough to launch the dino into the ocean. Ankylomon! Cody cried out for his partner, who was now sinking towards the ocean floor. XVmon! Go rescue Ankylomon! On it! And with that, the blue dragon dove in to try and rescue his friend. He wasn't the best swimmer, but that wasn't going to stop him. Back on the surface, Davis ran to TK's side, showing no sense of fear or restraint, something Cody just couldn't understand. Why, Davis? Why, Ankylomon? Why would you risk everything just for one person? Both of our worlds are in danger, the young man said to himself with tears in his eyes. It's simply because that's what friends do, Cody. said a gentle Joe, resting his hand on his shoulder. Everyone knows what's at stake here, even Davis. But that doesn't make any one of us less important. But Daemon, we're Daemon. They were born from evil and darkness. That's unforgivable. Evil and darkness, yes, those are unforgivable. But your friends who need you now more than ever, forgive them. So what, they made a mistake or two. We all have, but we're better now because we've learned from those mistakes and have good friends to help us along the way. After those words, Cody took a good look at those around him. The older kids who saved the digital world time and time again and are still standing strong, and the next generation who refuses to give up. With an approving nod from Joe, Cody dried his eyes and joined Davis on the opposite side of TK. Cody? I finally get it now, Davis, and I'm not gonna let you do this alone. We'll make sure nothing happens to him. That's what I'm talking about! Now behold the moment of truth. As if on cue, a brilliant light surrounded the two, which also transferred itself into a beam of light erupting from the ocean. Like a moth to a flame, Daemon couldn't resist the stronger light from the water. It dove in after it. In a flash, a miracle took place.
XVmon and Kilamon! DNA Digivolve 2! Gusokumon!
Once again, I had to clear up a few things. Just like what happened with Stingmon and Aquilamon, I had to rely on the Digimon Pendulum Z to get the result from XVmon and Ankylamon. And that result is Gusokumon, as long as Ankylamon merges with the vaccine or free attribute Digimon. At first, I didn't know how to feel about this Digimon, but he kinda grew on me. It matches the color scheme of XVmon while continuing the armored ancient look of Ankylamon. Let me know what you think about the latest addition to the team. Nobody could see what was happening underneath the water, but Davis and Cody were both synced and knew now that their chances have increased, if only for a little bit. On the ocean floor, Daemon looked at this new creature, but fretted little since it was still just at the ultimate level. Gusokumon didn't move a muscle, which somehow angered the Demon Lord even more. Not taking it anymore, Daemon began his assault on the armored Digimon, which did its best to hold its ground. And with each hit, a small fish seemed to be released from Gusokumon's back, slowly circling Daemon. He paid no attention to this weak excuse for an attack and continued laying into his opponent.
Davis! Cody! We won't give up!
The creature said to itself. After what seemed like forever, Daemon looked to be showing signs of getting tired, which is light compared to the now battered Gusokumon. It only had energy for one more of those slow-moving fish, and Daemon knew that, and took pleasure in the thought of finally getting rid of this nuisance. But then, it dawned on him. Those fish never hit him once, so where did they go? And upon a fatal realization, it clicked. Hundreds, if not thousands of those things were swarming the demon within a few inches of him.
Colony Torpedo!
One more fish launched. It made contact with the closest one and set off an inescapable chain explosion, something even the Mega Daemon couldn't avoid. All the Digidestined were in awe at the sheer strength of the explosions happening beneath the water's surface. The blasts were so intense that the once mighty Daemon broke through the water and crashed heavily on the ground. The impact did almost as much damage to him as the explosions. He wasn't the only one to emerge from the water. Slowly, Gusokumon also arose from the depths to make his official debut to the team. Amazing!
You can say that again!
The attention then returned to Daemon. Being a Mega Digimon, sure, he was able to survive the attack, but the raw power of those blasts almost completely drained the Digimon of his remaining energy. Daemon could no longer remain as such, and as quickly as he came, shrunk down to the completely worn Tokamon. No words were spoken from anybody. As TK held his partner back in his hands, only his intense wailing could be heard mixed with the churning of the crashing ocean waves. That's where this part will end for today. Now tell me, who honestly expected things to get so grim that Daemon would make an appearance? I clearly drew on tie-in Takado's experiences in forcing the Digimon to digivolve. TK's pure anger finally boiled over to the point of having dire consequences, something that wasn't really touched on in the original run of the show. We know how much he hates the forces of darkness, but now we see just what might have happened had he given in to his own darkness. Also, Davis and Cody at last got their DNA Digivolution partner in a way that forced Cody to grow. I know that it was more one-sided on Cody's part, but my biggest gripe with his character is that he doesn't really mesh well with the rest of the team. He has a black and white morality in a world that's more complex than that. He needed to learn that in order to be on anyone's wavelength. It did feel a little forced to me since those two were the only ones left, but I hope this way made sense to you all. As we're approaching the end of the story, what do you all think? How would TK recover from this battle? What could they do now to not only stop Demon, but also free Kari from darkness? Let me know your theories in the comments below and leave suggestions for more Digimon what-ifs you would like to see come to life in the future. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.